Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, got a little bit better light. So we are here. I am your girl Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. Um, this is a brand new segment that I have started, Morning Inspiration with Friends. Shout out to my friend Bola who helped me come up with the name. Um, this is going to be a morning inspirational segment where we are coming together. We're going to talk about different things in regards to lifestyle. So, from travel to healing, purpose, um, and also because I'm a single. Good morning, Paula. Paula made it a Friday. Made it Friday. We will have conversations about single, but I know that the audience also consists of some people that are not single. So we try to make sure that we touch on every aspect when we come here Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. to have these amazing inspirational conversations. So come with your tea, your water, your coffee, your smoothie, or whatever you are enjoying at 7 a.m. And if you are watching the replay, I thank you for being here on the replay. Hashtag replay so that I know that you were here. Drop your comments, leave any questions that you may have. That would actually be very helpful when you ask questions because that can help prompt another conversation for another day. This is all going to cater to you, to what you desire. I remember last week, Suzanne, she was one of the followers that was watching on YouTube when I was doing the 21 days of living and thriving as Miss Inspiration, and she brought up spiritual gifts. So yes, we will have conversations even about that. So this is it's not gonna be as formal, I'm not gonna have daily prompts, but we are gonna have some conversations. And today I wanted to talk about this thing called happiness, right? Finding your happy and why it bothers so many people. Have you ever been in a situation and in a space where you just feeling good, like you feeling good about life? Life is not perfect, and people know that it's not perfect, but you're still feeling good about life. And when people question you, they're like, "Well, how can you be happy?" And I'm finding that, especially the more that I continue to embrace the non-monetary ways of being happy. So I'm going to tell you what happened to me when I started to realize that happiness really was priceless, right? So when I was going through my financial struggle in 2016 through 2017, that was when I started to realize the things that were making me happy. And none of it had to do with money because I had no money. I barely had money to pay my bills. But that's when I realized that I love the water. And back in New York, we have the ferry system, right? So we have the Staten Island ferry will take you from Lower Manhattan to Staten Island. But then they started, I don't know when they started, but they created the New York City Ferryway, which would take you from like parts of Brooklyn, parts of Queens, I think even up to the Bronx, and then parts of Manhattan. So like main key points, 34th Street, Wall Street, things like that. And it was the same price, $2.75. So although they didn't take MetroCard, so if someone brought you an unlimited MetroCard, you did not get to use that MetroCard. You had to pay a separate $2.75. So when I would get a little bit of money and I'm like in my emotions, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling defeated. I would just get on the train, go down to Wall Street, jump on the ferry, and I would take the ferry. If it was summertime, I would take the ferry out to Queens and go out to Far Rockaway Beach, and spend the day there. Or if it was just like a regular day, maybe spring, not too hot to go on the beach, I would just go over to Long Island City, and they have like a nice sitting area, and you can just sit there. And I used to take my snacks. I know. You heard about that? The Metro cars are going away the end of this year, 2025. Metro cars, rest in peace. They've been through a lot, so yeah, we gotta let it go. So That's when I realized like this makes me happy, and I started to do that a little bit more whenever I wasn't like feeling, because again, I was trying to get to a point where I didn't have to like, oh, force myself to do something or force myself to get back into alignment of not being sad and depressed. So I would try to do it as often as I could. And like I said, I didn't have an abundance of money, but when I did make some money and I did have the extra after I paid my bills, then I would that would be my treat. Go to Trader Joe's, get some snacks. Trader Joe's. I'm actually looking at the wrapper because I just had one this morning. It's the apple mango fruit bar. So good. And it's cheap. Well, back then I think it was like $1. I think it was 99 cents. I think now it's like 129. Still not insane, right? But you do notice the difference in prices. And so, and I talk about that often. Now, I will say I have told God, like, I appreciate learning what happiness meant for me, but I don't want to have to go through that struggle again to continue to be reminded. So this is why I like talking to people about you got to find your happy. And whatever that means for you, you got to hold on to that, right? And the one thing that I hear quite often from people, and I experienced it myself, so this is the reason why we are having this conversation, is that so many people just don't understand like when things are not going perfect, or in their mind, whatever they define perfect as, they are going to try to deter you from feeling excited and feeling good about the situation and the life that you're currently living. So I want to share just like some key things that I always tell people, and I had to have this conversation yesterday with someone. First of all, happiness is a personal journey, right? Is not something, this is not a performance. This is not the performing arts of happiness. That's not what this is, and it should not be, right? Your true happiness is going to come from your own values. So the things that you value, the things that you're passionate about, the things that bring you peace. So when you heard me tell that story, not even a story, recapping of what I went through, going to the water, being on the water, literally being on the water, and then just sitting by the water, that brought me so much peace. It wasn't necessarily my passion, but it did align with my values because I was redefining what I was redefining what my values were anyway because of the season that I was in. I had to make some adjustments because the things that I was doing before was not working out for me. This is the reason why I was in certain situations because my values were not in alignment or they were not clearly defined. But that peace that I received from doing just something so simple, people don't realize that's where true happiness comes from. This is why you can find people out here in the world doing the same thing every single day because it brings them peace, or it's in alignment with their values, or they are passionate about it. You might not understand that. You might look and be like, why would you do that every single day? Like that's not normal or whatever. You have to understand that is what's bringing that person, because this person is on their own personal journey. And when I see people make comments, and I mean, this is social media, these are, people that we may know or just conversations. And then I will always challenge those people, redirect that energy back to yourself. Figure out why is it that it's easier for you to complain and have or find a problem with someone finding their own personal happiness instead of you figuring out what your own happiness is. And again, I always say, when you can figure out what makes you happy without money, that says a lot. When you can figure out what you are happy about without money, that is going to say so much more, right? So I want us to get into that point, into that reminder, so I want you to remind people when people start coming and making comments like, oh, especially when they saying things like, must be nice. Are you sure? Right? When I moved to Tulsa, my mom would tell me, yeah, people be calling me and they be like, your daughter look like she's having a good time. She look like she's happy out there. But is she really? Like they don't believe it. They're like, but is she really? And my mother is like, she is happy. And the reason why I'm so happy here is because I'm at peace. See, all the things that I was I was dealing with back in New York and other places, I wasn't at peace. So when I'm not at peace, it's not easy to enjoy. It's not easy to look at the small things and appreciate that. Appreciate that good cup of coffee. Appreciate that cold bottle of water. Like we just realize like these are just, oh, this is the part of my life. No, those are going to add to your happiness. So now it's going to trigger other people because some people are going to project their dissatisfaction with life, or especially with their life, right? So it's not even about the politics, because nowadays I feel like everybody is trying to make everything political. And I'm just like, it's everything is not political. It's not. Right? You're just unhappy, and it's easier for you to be a killjoy than to just admit that you're not satisfied. It has nothing to do with who's in the White House. It has nothing to do with the Senate. This has to do with you taking ownership and realizing that you are a killjoy, right? And you are trying to project, and you don't believe, right? So what happened? So this is what really triggered this conversation today. Again, y'all gonna learn a lot about me, and I'm always good to talk about what I'm going through, what I've seen, what I've encountered. So just stay with me. So yesterday I decided I had tried this. It's like not one of the popular dating apps, but I tried one of the dating apps. And I was on there and I was having a conversation with a gentleman. And he kept on insisting, like, he was like, oh, I had a meeting. And I said, okay, I said, I'm about to go into a meeting, so I'm not going to be responding for a little bit. So, because I try to communicate that, because some people get into their feelings about, you didn't respond. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm at work, So I try to communicate because, again, I have to be in preparation for my person coming into my life. So when I practice these things, I'm really trying to practice them because I want to be mindful of the person that I am open to coming into my life. And communication is a huge thing. So that person was like, oh, don't let them stress you in a meeting. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, it's not one of those kind of meetings, but, sure. And then when the meeting was over and we started talking again, he was like, maybe you should relax, because I know you're stressed out. And I said, no, I'm not. And so I was like, why are you fascinated? I said, you're really fascinated with stress. Why? And he was like, no, because, when people are at work, people got jobs that stress them. I said, but every person doesn't have a job that stress them. I said, there are some people that actually are happy at their job. They actually enjoy their job. And he was like, that's impossible. Impossible is a big word. Now that is a big word. And I was just like, no, it's not impossible. I said, because when you take ownership and you devise and you create this life that's meant for you, you are going to realize that you have ownership and saying, okay, this is the kind of job that I truly desire. I wanted to be in this mode. So remote, hybrid, in person, we have some ability, especially prior to 2025, we have some ability to say, I'm going to take ownership. And so what I did in 2021, when I left my last in-person job, I said to myself, I want a fully remote job, a job that I can use my skills, that I can grow in, I can learn something new, and that I am going to have fun being at, and I'm going to have peace, not micromanage, not any of those things. And I have that. So are there going to be stressful moments? Absolutely. But by no means is this a job that I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't, I'm sick of it. I can't take it. I don't want to be here. So I said to him, I said, there are some people that are actually happy. And I understand that we are in an environment where we are so accustomed to people complaining about their job. They're not happy with where they work. They're not happy with how much money they're making, or they are happy with how much money they're making, but they're not happy with any other aspect with their work. I said, and so because although I'm telling you, I'm not stressed. I'm feeling good. This is an amazing day. This person could not fathom that. They could not understand that. It could not make sense to them because it's not something that they are accustomed to. And so that is why so many people are, it's unfamiliar for them. They can't, they can't gather. How can someone go through challenging moments and still be happy? And so I want to help people get to that point where if you are that dissatisfied, because again, this is all projection, right? And so I asked him, "Do you like your job?" And he was like, "I mean, it's my job." But that's not answering the question. If you don't like your job, that is going to be one of the reasons why you're going to try to project that onto other people and create a narrative and create this story for someone else that is not their story. So you have to realize that if you're finding yourself in that situation, it's like I had to just get to that point where I ended up ending I had to end the conversation because the conversation was not progressing it was not being healthy. Um but I had to understand this person has not defined happiness for themselves. They are working someplace that they're not fully satisfied with. And they feel because they're probably in a circle of people who are also equally as dissatisfied at their job, who are also as unhappy with their life. So this is what they're accustomed to. Right. Some people do go out after work and sit at a bar, a restaurant, a pub, and they sit and complain about work all day long. I don't do that. I used to do it. So I understand. I know what that feels like. But when you get out of that cycle and you get into a cycle of being in a space where it's like, this is not perfect. This is not the Garden of Eden. This is not paradise. But guess what? You know what worse feels like. And so now you're like, look, I just want you to feel by making intentional decisions, right? By making intentional choices in your life and saying, look, this is what I want my life to look like. I don't want to sit around and talk about stress. And I don't want to sit around and talk about unhappiness. I really want to because I want people to want to stay around me because you're going to repel a lot of people. Right, when you're that negative person, you're going to repel. But also on the other side, and I've experienced this, when you're that happy-go-lucky, you're Miss Inspiration, you're looking at life from a more positive standpoint, you are now also going to become that person that people are going to be like, here she comes with her inspiration. They're going to feel that way, and I'm okay with people feeling that way now. Because if I walk into the room and in a room full of negative people and everybody starts walking away from me and I'm like, then guess what? I've done my job. Because the sun shows up and what? Just the sun is out. It's there. Everybody has problems with the sun. They got to put the glasses on. They have to make adjustments. The sun doesn't. So we have to get to that point where we just understand that. So you got to just keep on being. People need to see more happy people, genuinely happy people. People need to understand this. This is why we're going to have these kind of conversations here, because what I'm trying to help do is shift the matrix, right? The matrix right now is nothing but negativity. It's been like that for many of years. Everyone is in the woe is me. I hate my life. I want to be like Beyonce. I want to be like this celebrity because they want to have all this money. And a lot of people think that the more money that they're going to get, they're going to be happier. But if we look at the people that we have lost, we lost a lot of great people due to suicide. And a lot of them, their net worth was easily eight figures. Easily. So if that was the case, if money truly made us all happy, then we would not have lost. We would not have lost famous, rich, wealthy people because they took their own life. They said, "I can't do it anymore." So I want us to get to that part, right? And so the third thing is that you just gotta protect your peace. Be happy and protect it. Be happy and don't apologize for it. When I got to that place, and like I said, I've had this experience a lot. Like moving to Tulsa, I'm not fond of meeting East Coast people in Oklahoma. I'm not fond, not Tulsa remote people. I'm talking about the other people that moved here, for work or whatever. I'm not fond of those people because a lot of those people, you know, circumstances had them. They had to move to Oklahoma because of family. They had to move here because of their jobs. And they are still in this comparisons game. Comparisons kills a lot of people happiness. Comparisons will kill you and it will make you so uncomfortable because you're not even allowing yourself to enjoy your now. The one thing that I used to say often when I was sharing like this the journey of Tulsa remote, because no, I did encounter some Tulsa remote people that were doing the same thing. Like, I know he's like, I miss New York. I miss going to the bodegas, 24 hours. We got Quick Trip. Okay, I don't understand the problem. And the reality is, I've been telling people this now for the last year and a half. The things that a lot of people are like they're reminiscing about don't even exist anymore. Like imagine having a conversation with a person who hates where they are physically living now. They're still living in the past to a place that they have not lived in over 20 years, 10 to 20 years. And that person is still comparing to the life in the 90s in New York City. 90s New York City, early 2000 New York City is 10 times different from New York City in 2025. So I try not to get stuck into the comparing because I want to stay in the now. If I sat here and was like, man, Nathan's frog legs can't go and get me. I mean, nothing that I really want. I can't even eat it. So like I do miss pizza, but I can't even eat pizza. So no need for me to like reminisce about my. So I mean, I was reminiscing the other day with my sister. I was like, I miss them two brothers pizzas and get the dollar slice. And on them, like get you the two slice with the soda was like $2.50. Like you was winning. So and I tell people, I was like, you're missing out on the beauty of your present because you're getting stuck in the memory that doesn't even exist. Because right now, if you were to pack up your life and move back to New York City, right? And I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the people that I have encountered who are still thinking about New York City in the 90s or the early 2000s. So they themselves have not lived there in over 10 years. And that's what they want. And so when I'm like, okay, look, I never moved here expecting Tulsa to be anything like Brooklyn. There's nothing there like day and night. They are bipolar cousins. Okay. Nothing is going to be the same. So I never moved here wanting them to look like, oh, well, how come the people here don't dress like back at home? Because these are typically cowboys. Like they wear cowboy boots on a normal day, like every day. That is their norm. These people are wearing Wrangler jeans, like why would we think that this is going to be the same? Yes, we are in the same country, but oh, excuse me, y'all. Oh, Jesus. Coffee feeling starting to taste some good. But if we was to go to all 50 states, every 50 states is going to be different because it's like a mini little country. That's how I look at America. America, the United States, 50 states, every state has something unique about them. So if you're going to go, and I talked about this, I was on the relocation podcast. I'm gonna drop that link to that episode in the description. Give me a moment, I gotta find it. But when I was on that podcast, that was the one thing that I said. If you want to be happy in a new city, don't compare it to your old city. If you want to be happy in your new city, do not compare it to your old city because you are going to stress yourself out. You're going to miss out on all the joys. I would not be able to enjoy the Gathering Place, Guthrie Green Park, and they have all these concerts. First Friday in the Art Crawl, going to Philbrook Museum for various different events. Someone just sent me an event yesterday, for an event in April, and it's like wine and hip hop at the museum. Like I'm looking forward to all of that. Like I'm excited about that. And people are like, well, It's nothing like, Brooklyn first Saturday. Okay. I know, like Brooklyn Museum's first Saturday is definitely a vibe. And I love that. But what does that have to do with what's going on over here in Tulsa? Like, we got to get out of that. And that's why when so many people see and they're like, oh, you're really a happy person now. I am. And I own that. And I don't apologize. And when people ask me, how can I be so happy in this little town or this smaller town? I'm like, because I'm enjoying and I'm bringing my reality to where I am today, and I'm allowing that to draw me in. And honestly, it's so much easier to find so much peace here, because this is the last thing, and y'all gonna hear me mention this a lot. I love going outside when the sun is out, and I just sit in the sun. Like, that makes me happy. And people are like, but it's the sun. Exactly. It is the sun. And the sun is an amazing feeling, and it feels great and it's healing. So why would I not want to be there? Why would I not want to do that? Like, trust me, that irritates so many people as well. I remember I had a guy, um, we never met. We was chatting on a dating app, and we transitioned to the phone, and we was on the phone, and I want to say we probably talked for like 2 days. Again, I work from home, so working from home, I have that flexibility. I don't have like a call center job where I have to stay on the phone and I'm like always looking. So it's nothing for me to just get up and go sit outside, in the front or the back. And I think on the second day, the guy said to me, something that I've noticed about you, like, you're always outside. Like, you're always sitting outside. Like, what's up with that? And he was bothered by that. Like, bothered. And I was like, wow, you seem like you're like disturbed by the fact that I enjoy something as simple as just sitting outside and sitting in the sun. I said, I've never heard anyone be so displeased with that. And he was like, I mean, I don't know. And again, people try to bring up other narratives. Oh, because maybe you live with a man, and that's why you can't. That's why you sitting outside to talk to me instead of being inside. And I was just like, or I just love sitting in the sun. I just love enjoying the deck that I pay for, or maybe the porch that I pay for. Like, I got a whole rocking chair in my front yard, well, on my front porch, not my yard, my front porch. Like, why can't it just be that reality? So that's what just made me starting to realize, like, I want so many people to just find their simple happy. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate this. Don't talk about the happy where it's, you're out here making all this money and you're going on yachts every week. If that's going to make you happy too, great. But so many people just at this point need to figure out what makes them happy in this space. And that's the prayer that I pray for everyone. Anyone that finds error, that finds fault in someone who's just happy in where they are and the simple things. They can enjoy it. They can take it in, and it just makes them feel amazing. I want that to be the prayer for everyone who does not feel that, who does not understand that, who does not understand that people are truly, genuinely out here just living their best life with joy, right? So, yeah, let's end there, right? We're going to keep these shorter because before, some days he was going on for hours. So, if you want to connect with me, I actually did put this down in the description, but the link to connect with me is in the description and my link tree, so you can find out about my books, my courses, all of those good, amazing things that if you want to connect with me. And then also, if you are interested in learning about inspirational trailblazers, you can also click, I think it's the second link on my link tree, and make sure that you just use that code March25. That expires on Monday. And for those of you who do not know, if you join Inspirational Trailblazers this week, one of the first 10 people are going to receive a free 30-minute one-on-one coaching session with me. So take advantage of that. Jump on it. The moment that you join, you are going to receive. You're actually going to see the post about, and I'm going to pin that to be the first post, so that you will be able to see that, and you can schedule your one-on-one with me the times that works best for you. I have mainly evening hours. So if you do need like another time, just email me and we'll be able to, or just comment on that post, and then we will be able to reschedule and find a time that works best for both of us. But yeah, so it is Friday. Have an amazing Friday. I will be back on Monday. Okay, so we keeping these Monday to Friday. Don't be surprised if you see a pop-up video, maybe it may not be on my computer, it might just be on my phone, but you might see some other messages. But this weekend I am traveling. Hope I'm traveling down to Dallas today and hanging out with my sister as we go to a concert. So I'm excited about that. Keep us both in your prayers. We are traveling. I'm traveling by car. She's flying down, and traveling mercies. So much going on out there in the world. I even woke up this morning. Luckily, I went to go wash another load of clothes, and as I was going into my laundry room, I have to go through my garage, and I look down, and I mean, I got a flat, like it's not little bit of air was out. It was a flat tire. And I was just like, gotta roll with the punches, right? So I was able to put the air in, and then after I pack and everything, pack the car up, then I would stop and get the tire, and then I'll just start making my way down to Dallas. Thank you, Paula. Thank you. Yes, I hope you enjoy your weekend too. Now, Paula, are you already on your trip? Are you on the 15-day cruise? I'm being nosy. But yes, I'm really excited about this, and we're actually gonna like spend the whole weekend. Like normally we'll go to the concert and then the next day we leaving. She said she is on the plane. Yes, Paula. Traveling mercies to you as well. Please, please, please. I pray that you have a safe trip, and I just pray you have an amazing time. Next time, don't forget to call the girl, okay? I will meet you there. She said, cruise starts tomorrow. Woohoo! That's right, Paula. Have a good time. I'm definitely going to be excited. I'm excited for you. I have not been on a cruise since 2015. So that's definitely now is this a Virgin? Is this Virgin cruise, or you doing like Norwegian? I like Norwegian, but I think the next cruise I do, I'm gonna do Virgin. I wanna try the all adult, all inclusive. I know it's like pricey, but Norwegian, yep, that's my favorite cruise line. Yeah, so I'm excited for you. Have a grand time. Have a good flight. Get there safe. Enjoy your day. If you're flying wherever city you're going into, enjoy the day there. And yes, just have a great, great trip as well. But yeah, I'll see you all next week on Monday. Have an amazing weekend on purpose. And I am your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. And this was our first episode of Morning Inspiration with Friends. So I love you guys. You know God loves you. Have a good one. Be well and be blessed.